A fight in the Caulfield Cup this afternoon. How are you feeling?
Yeah, feeling really good. Got my weight in control and had a good lead up, good prep, so I'm very happy.
55 is quite light for you?
Yeah, 55 and a half is as light as I go, and so I got to, as long as I know it in advance, and leave the champagne in the fridge for an extra week and just behave myself, and I've been doing well.
Nervous 48 hours you with vetting?
Not really. I mean, I know the horse, and I know he's a bit of a lazy trotter, and once I spoke to the camp, they were pretty confident, so of course you always want to hear the tick off, but it wasn't like he had a hoof abscess or something like that he was trying to get over. It was just the horse, so yeah, happy to get through it though.
Fantastic. Top weight in the Caulfield Cup, obviously Gold Trip. You've got a great relationship. Can you just explain to us how you've ended up not on that horse today?
How long have you got? Well, look, after he won the Turnbull, they weren't sure whether they're going to go to the Cox Plate or the Caulfield Cup, and obviously I'd been riding this horse without a fight, who, you know, is one of the first three favourites in the race. So I had to make a decision at Francois after winning the Turnbull Stakes.
All the best decisions are made.
Yeah, exactly. So, and the Mrc's team couldn't give me an answer which way he was going to go. And the Friedman team said, "You got to know. We need to know by 5 o'clock." So I had both sides sort of. I can rely on the Mrc team, so I just had to take.
Pull the trigger.
Like if you got to ride, you can take it. You know.
With Gold Trip in today's race, is it a bit like lending your car to a mate?
Yes, it is a little bit. I would have thought. You just don't do it.
Well, we've done it today, mate. Wish you all the best. It's going to be a great race out there. All the best. Cheers, mate.
Thanks, mate.
The time is near. The countdown is on. Legends will be made today. Welcome to Caulfield. Each year on this course, one of the racing world's most historic and coveted prizes is at stake. That we know. But it's the anticipation, the thrill of what we don't know, that makes our hearts race. Who is going to take home this cup?
Yes, we're getting closer. Melbourne loves a big event, and the Caulfield Cup's been that really since those 1880s when it all started. It's got a wild and wonderful history, this Cup, like no other. It's had a disqualification, it's had a protest upheld, it's had a dead heat, it's had consecutive winners, but very few of them have won. Well, 7 multiple winners, but very few of them have been consecutive. It really is a race for the ages. Lizzie, we cannot wait for this one.
Caulfield Cup, it's one of the features. Every jockey wants to win it.
It's the first major of the Spring Carnival.
I mean, just where it starts, at the top of the straight.
Set for the Caulfield Cup, they're ready and they're racing.
The crowd's all the way down to the 2400, and they're all hanging over the fence like it's just full all the way up the side there.
And it's such a test, 1.5 miles. You've got to have a fast stay.
Big field, 18 runners, big rush to the first turn.
Going quickly down to the post the first time.
So you need speed, but speed endurance.
A lot of horses don't handle it. The pressure goes on from a long way out.
Takes the lead around the turn. It's a stamina-sapping race.
And it's also had so many iconic winners.
Leander Cross, as everyone knows, was the well-fancied horse there and went on a wide run. We managed to cut the corner.
Mannerism coming with a run in the middle. Leander Cross, Mannerism down to the post. Leander Cross, Mannerism. Oh, golly, I don't know.
Might and Power, 1997.
It looks all over.
He was like an engine. A big steam train out of control.
But Might and Power has gapped them in the Caulfield Cup. What a win, he's won it by 7 lengths.
Mummifi was an on-pacer.
Mummifi will get it. Mummifi wins the Caulfield Cup.
Nick Hall on Jamaica riding down to, 51 kilos.
It's Jamaica clear with 100 metres to go. She's going to romp it and she's coming away. Very elegant and in front, and the bear won it.
When you pull up on the other side of the racecourse, it's just you and the horse and no one else.
Over nearly 150 years now, it's stood the test of time. It's a great race.
Oh, that's got to get you in the mood for one of these classic races, the Caulfield Cup. Next on the agenda at Caulfield, Group 1, 2,400 metres, and revellers at Caulfield are certainly enjoying themselves and looking forward to this event not too far.
So it's worth $150,000. It's worth a whole lot more than that, this cup, isn't it? To have possession of this cup is one of the great joys in Australian racing. There's no question of that. The first of the 4 majors run every season. It's Caulfield Cup time, and who better to tell us all about it than Katie McDonald.
There's something magical about this place. So much history. You can almost feel it. For almost a century and a half, it's been home to a legendary race that's had so many great moments. And I should know, my pop Mick Million won this iconic trophy 3 times. And I grew up hearing all these wonderful stories about this mythical race, the Caulfield Cup. Like the day Pop led all the way on Bunratty Castle to win his first.
Gay Icarus nodding his head, they're racing.
He used to tell me he could talk to Gay Icarus and the horse would listen. He was so happy after he won the 1971 Cup that he got suspended for waving to Nan as he crossed the line.
Oh, Gay Icarus, the greatest horse in Australia, maybe the world, charging away.
And I loved hearing about his 1974 win on Leilani. The champ he called a Bonza mare.
But it's Leilani's Caulfield Cup. The Bonnie mare is going to win by 4 lengths.
This old grandstand's probably had the best view of all. Here to see all of the great champions. Like Tulloch, who romped home in 1957 in front of a crowd of 73,000 people.
One of glorious burst of speed, Tulloch quickly establishes a winning margin.
As a young girl, I was lucky to see Might and Power lead all the way. How could you not love that bravery?
What a win, he's won it by 7 lengths.
This is where it all starts. 2,400 metres in front of a massive crowd.
They're off.
I was so proud to follow in my pop's footsteps and ride in this iconic race.
So they run to the home turn in the cup now.
It gave me a great view the year Nick Hall won on Jamaica after he'd wasted all week.
Well, it's Jamaica clear with 100 metres to go. She's going to romp it and she's coming away. The favourite all too good.
And in recent times, raiders like Juniden, Admire Rakti and Murder Glass have made it truly international.
Murder Glass, it's the Japanese again.
Today, we eagerly await the latest renewal of this great race as more history is about to be made. It's the Caulfield Cup, a race I hold close to my heart. I just love it.
Here, Katie, we're right with you there. We just love the Caulfield Cup. And the tension in the air today is palpable. We can absolutely feel it, Caitlin. It's been the perfect racing day so far. Weather just right, massive crowd. And I think in many ways, Katie, this is about as strong as Caulfield Cup as we've seen in many a day. There are so many live chances, horses in good form.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, we've only got the 2 Group 1 winners in Montefilia and Gold Trip, but so many horses with so many different form lines without a fight. Of course, winning the big race up in Queensland, and then you've got the breakup who's come from Japan, West Wind Blows, who was awesome in a Turnbull Stakes, Francesco Guardi, a Moonee Valley Cup winner. And the list just keeps going on. The best thing about this race is that anyone can win it because it's a handicap.
I think most of them in with a chance. 4 internationals, that's as big as it gets. And 4 female jockeys,
yeah,
a record. Here's Richo, who's caught up with the hoops in this year's Caulfield time. It's a dream to ride in these races in Australian racing. There they are. So Mellon with a big job. Zara's lending the keys for the day. Lane's been a winner. Shin wants another to get 3. Can he get a Grand Slam, Mac? That's what he's after. Can Spencer be the 3rd international? Can Willow get a 3rd? Can Johnny Allen get a 20th Group 1? And the list goes on and on. Good luck, boys. I love my horses. I love my punting from Nathan Broad. I've heard that before in my life living in this country. There's Debbie. And there's Gay. Oh, they're all here today, aren't they? They are all here today. And for the jockeys today, we've talked a lot about them. But there are so many big stories associated with them today. Could J-Mac get that 4th major and then have the Golden Grand Slam with an Everest, become the 9th? Can Benny Mellon? 4 placings, can you believe it? They were one after the other in Caulfield Cups. Jamie Spencer, can he do what only a couple have done before him and be the third Northern Hemisphere jockey. And for Craig Williams, he gets a hat-trick. He starts to get right up there. He gets a 7th major. And for these women to be the first, Michelle's the only female jockey to have won a major in Australian racing. Linda, Winona, Jamie and Carleen, it's all up to you. Oh, big deep breath, because the first horse we're going to see is nearly a champion. He will be a champion if he can win this race today, Gold Trip.
Yeah, he certainly can. And wow, he's presented in such good order. He's just absolutely gleaming in the coat. He's a picture of health. And that Turnbull Stakes win was explosive.
So Dunedin won this race with 58 kilos. He's got 58.5. He's as good as Dunedin. He's maybe not as good as Northerly, but he'll be right in the conversation as a champ if he can win today. I was really keen on Without a Fight before that little vet issue, but everyone is assured he's A-OK. I loved his runs up in Queensland.
Can Montefilia do it for the third time? Now, Breakup at the moment hasn't come into the mounting yard. We think he might have gone straight out there. He's a horse that's highly strung. Can Montefilia win the Cup after 2 consecutive fourths?
I think she can. If she gets the right run in transit and she's there to pounce and not have to do too much work in the end, I think she can. She's such a big, strong mare. And once she finds that rhythm, she can really attack the line. 2400's no worries at all for her. Blake Shin taking the ride. Here's Francesco Guardi.
Can your husband win, Katie?
Well, I tell you what, this horse absolutely runs for him. He's had 4 rides on him for 3 wins and a close second. Of course, he bolted in the Moonee Valley Cup last spring carnival. He's a neat type of horse. He looked like he galloped well during the week. Can he win, Richo?
Is the Melbourne Cup his best chance? That's the question, I think. I think Melbourne Cup's more his race. West Wind Blows. I loved him first up because I've got this punting theory in regards to the internationals. They run their very best race, first race off the plane. He ran it out of his skin there. He, by all reports, he's still training on really well. He has to be a key contender. Now, he draws a low barrier. That's the task for Jamie Spencer. Solcombe is simply flying.
He is just breathtaking,
and he's got all the right credentials, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does. Look, he won the Heatherly first up, which was a little bit of a surprise for some people, but she just relished Caulfield then on that occasion, and since then he hasn't gone backwards. He ran 4th in the Underwood behind Alligator Blood, beaten just over a length, and then in the Turnbull Stakes wasn't beaten all that far either. Here's your roughie, Duke de Sessa.
I loved his run in the Turnbull. He was only beaten less than 5 lengths. He drops down to 53 kilos. 2400 metres is ideal for him. And I think he's the best roughie in the race, Duke de Sessa.
I'm with you. He's unbeaten at 2400, Richo. He's 2 for 2. I'm with you. I think he's got a live chance. And I think Mara and Eustace think exactly the same as that. This has been a target. Huyamal placed in an Epsom Derby. He was 150 to 1. But his form, I think, is very strong in Australia in his last 2 starts. Yeah. I'll give him a chance.
Absolutely. He'll be thereabouts in the run in transit. He'll be forward. If you like Montefilia, you've got to throw him in too, because he was only just narrowly beaten there, and he'll show lots of fight in this distance, no problem at all.
Up until now, I've given every horse a chance. Now we get to a different group. By the way, Breaker, he's gone out onto the track, the Japanese horse. Now I think some of these are going to battle to win.
Well, this is the horse that won his way into this race by winning the Mornington Cup. He's super consistent, this guy, but he's now tested at Group 1 grade. That's the big query for him. Helped by the fact that he gets a low weight, but I think he has to be a big query. Now, Emissary was terrific last spring. Is he in the same shape?
Probably not, but I tell you what, he has been turned out in terrific order. He is absolutely a picture of health. He's glowing. He's walking around there superbly. 52 kilos from a good barrier. He will get his chance at some stage, whether or not he's good enough.
This was the Melbourne Cup favourite in March. Now, a few may have chuckled at the odds that he was that day after the Roy Higgins. He thrashed Solcombe. Absolutely thrashed Solcombe in that, but he hasn't done it so far. Linda Meach, you mentioned it earlier. 1 ride in the Caulfield Cup, 3rd placing.
Yeah, absolutely. Big opportunity for Linda here. Of course, she's had a big career, and it'd be nice to win a major, Richo.
So Joseph O'Brien and Karen McAvoy combined with Akita Sushi with a Japanese name and an Irish bred out of a Group 1 winning Australian mare in Amicus. I was privileged to be at Royal Ascot when he won there. 2,400 metres, dry track suits, maybe even 3,200 metres. He is a live contender.
Fame was very good in Queensland. He went to Queensland with a big reputation. He did himself no harm. He hasn't hit the target this spring. It would be a shock.
Yeah, it's look, you can see his odds there at 100 to 1. Yeah, of course, he won his maiden and then thrown in the deep end and just narrowly beaten in the Queensland Derby. Yeah, it would be a shock, absolutely.
Boy D'Argent, well, he came to the the Rosehill Cup under Marco Botti, didn't he? And then he's, of course, with Annabelle now and Winona. He's a good horse. Can he win a Caulfield Cup?
Well, at 50.5 kilos, he gets an opportunity. Is he going well enough? Well, one thing about him, there'll be no fitter horse in the race than him. He's been racing all throughout the winter.
And Spirit Ridge is rock hard fit. He's the oldie. He's never been in better form.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't won, but he just keeps on running well. Seconds, thirds, this preparation, he hasn't been far away from the likes of Just Fine, Military Mission, and horses are in such good form.
Yeah, can you be not good enough to win a Grafton or Wyong Cup, yet be good enough to win a Caulfield Cup? That's the task. This guy will run out of his skin. His name is Valiant King. He's been eyeballing the Melbourne Cup favourite in Vauban. And a massive moment for Jamie Carr. An inside barrier and an opportunity for her. Can she get this guy to jump? The worry would be she might be 5th pair back the rail, but the good side, she could be 3rd or 4th the rail.
And there's a crazy stat about barrier 1. Here's Carleen Heffel, who got her chance with the scratching yesterday with non-conformist, rides the 4th of the Kiramar and David Eustace mounts. So that's the field. Here's Breakup, who's out there at the moment, so we'll see him in a second. So he went out there early. That was the plan, Damien Lane. He knows Japanese racing brilliantly. We know how much success he's had there, and also here on Japanese horses in this race and the Cox Plate. PointsBet, Daisy, big deep breath. Give us your best for the Daisy.
Well, the money continues to come for Valiant King, 21s and continuing to plummet in. What a story to be. Jamie Carr in the saddle. Valiant King, your PointsBet market mover, into $10.
And Barrier 1 has never won the race from starting stalls. 1941 from the Strands at Flemington. Can you believe it? Ollie looking on. 27 times he's ridden the race for 4 wins, 4 seconds and 2/3. There he is, the goat, watching as they move in. So, Lizzie, a very quick tip from you.
I'm with West Wind Blows, but I think the value is Spirit Ridge.
Freddie?
West Wind Blows. Oh, gosh. I could also go with Without a Fight and Solcombe. I think 10 could win it, Bruce.
I'm Solcombe, Bruce. Richo?
I'm with Breakup, the Japanese horse who got within 7 lengths of the best horse in the world, Equinox.
It's the perfect start. It's at the top of the straight. It's a race that really does take something to win. We know the history. It's produced 2 of the greatest performances we've ever seen on an Australian racetrack. Tulloch and Might and Power. What have we got in store today? Here's Matt Hill. We're about to go for the Cup at Caulfield.
Set to go. They make a good line and they're racing, and West Wind Blows hesitated, missed the start 2 or 3. Solcombe 6 lengths last early. Bois d'Argent began well with Valiant King, Huyamal, Spirit Ridge, Right You Are from the deep. United Nations coming over with also Goldman as they blast to the post with a lap to go. Spirit Ridge the leader from United Nations. Goldman made a line of 3 on the first corner. They're a length and a half in front of Huyamal, and then came Right You Are. About a length and a half Valiant King on the fence from Bois d'Argent, 2 lengths to Breakup, and then West Wind Blows, who recovered on the fence midfield. A length and a quarter Emissary Without a Fight, 2.5 to Gold Trip. Then came Francesco Guardi, Montefilia, Solcombe well back, Duke de Sessa, Akita Sushi, and 2 further back to Fame at the end of the field. 1,600 metres to go. The speed's been on early. Spirit Ridge 2 lengths Goldman. 3rd on the inside is Huyamal, and then came United Nations in 4th place. Next along the inside is Valiant King at the 1,400 metres, 2 lengths Right You Are. They continue the climb, and then came Bois d'Argent, 2.5 lengths to Breakup. West Wind Blows, a length and a quarter Emissary. Then came Without a Fight, a couple of lengths to Gold Trip, Francesco Guardi. They really string out, a length and a half Montefilia, Solcombe, 2 lengths Duke de Sessa, Akita Sushi, and Fame is last. It's 30 lengths first to last. Spirit Ridge kept them motoring towards the 1,000 metres by a length to Goldman. Huyamal 3rd the inside, followed by United Nations, a length and a quarter Valiant King, Right You Are. 2 lengths Bois d'Argent, followed by Breakup. The Japanese runners only about 7 or 8 off the front. 2 lengths West Wind Blows, then Emissary Without a Fight. Further back is Gold Trip, who's 15 off the lead from Francesco Guardi. Then a gap Solcombe well back in the field. Montefilia, Duke de Sessa, Akita Sushi, and Fame. Spirit Ridge at the 600 metres led the field from United Nations. Huyamal's got a split. Right You Are made a line of 4. They're a length and a half Valiant King. Breakup's coming on. on. So too West Wind Blows. Without a Fight's the widest. Gold Trip is tracking into it. Needs a run though. Right You Are, Who You Mailed into the straight from Valiant King. West Wind Blows break up. They were followed by Bois d'Argent. Without a Fight and Gold Trip are running on. West Wind Blows at the 200. Without a Fight runs on. Lays in on top of Gold Trip. West Wind Blows 100 to go. Without a Fight coming at it. Without a Fight. West Wind Blows. The hits in unison. Without a Fight. Without a Fight for the Caulfield Cup. Narrowly from West Wind Blows and Gold Trip. Fourth, Right You Are, or Bois d'Argent. Followed then by Valiant King Sulcombe. Break Up and Duke de Sessa. Behind them, Who You Mailed, United Nations. And then came Goldman Montefilia. Spirit Ridge got tired. Francesco Guardia, Kita Sushi. And always towards the back was Fame. A long last Emissary.
Australian racing at its very best. You don't get a better last 400 metres than that. It was magnificent. It was stirring. Zara gets a second. Anthony and Sam get one together. Lee won 4. Anthony was with him for all of them. And Zara, who lent the keys to Ben Melham, he had the Ferrari today. What a stirring race. What a performance.
Oh, it was huge. And for Mark Zara, this is massive. Of course, getting off his favourite horse in Gold Trip to ride Without a Fight, a horse that he's had so much time for. And to get the result today is unbelievable, especially for Anthony and Sam. For such a big owner like Sheikh Obeid, this is massive for them, Bruce, massive.
And Jamie Spencer and Mark Zara are the best of mates, and they battled and battled. Let's go to Richo.
Oh, Sam, you've done it, mate. You've won a Caulfield Cup with a horse that you've had so much faith in.
Yeah, no, look, it's a special day. Got to say a particular thank you to Sheikh Mohammed Obeid, who made the right call to send the horse out in the first place, and he left him out here. And what a call, he's pulled the right rein. The horse is brilliant on top of the ground, and all the staff at home, they've done a terrific job. Particularly thank you to Mornington Racing Club. They've given us access to the course proper as much as we needed. We obviously went from the 1800 to the mile and a half, and he's just a good horse.
Yeah, he's a really good horse. And that association with Sheikh Mohammed Obeid came when you were working over in England for Roger Varian.
Yeah, it was. Look, he had a very good horse called Postponed, and was thankful to have a little bit to do with him, and met him at the races. Yeah, been going back 6 or 7 years, and thankful that we kept up the connection. And Liam O'Rourke, who looks after all his bloodstock, stayed in contact, and down the line here we are. Yeah,
last 24 hours, mate. We were worried that he wasn't going to get a start.
Yeah, they made the right call in the end.
Yeah.
We were never worried. I think that's the most worrying thing. As a trainer, I mean, you would never send a horse to the races that you didn't feel was ready to go. This horse, we know him so well, and all the staff, they work tirelessly to get these results. And so when you've got that nervous little wait, you're feeling for them, they're putting in the hours, and it's been a tough enough sort of 6 or 12 months. And look, I'm sure the old man will be at home and getting a little bit emotional, so it's good.
Yeah, cheerio to Anthony. Well done, mate. You won a big major. We're really proud of you.
Thank you.
I think you pulled the right rein.
Yeah, it's good when you know the results at the end, but you got to choose them before, unfortunately. But what a moment! I'm so happy.
I saw the emotion with that big exhale and that punch in the sky. It must mean a lot to you.
Yeah, I don't really celebrate much, but with the week I've had and the things that have gone on, I was just, I had to kick myself in the ribs. My wife probably did it for me midway through the week and said, let's just focus on the ride we've got, and it's a good chance. And had a beautiful run, and he did the rest.
Yeah, absolutely. He's an absolute champion. You're a champion. You've won multiple Caulfield Cups now. What's next for you?
Well, I'm not sure how he went Gold Trip, but the Cox Plate could be next week. We'll see.
Let's hope so. All the best. Well done.
So a Melbourne Cup and 2 Caulfield Cups, Katie, and this horse is in the Cox Plate and the Melbourne Cup like Gold Trip. So he makes his run, West Wind Blows is making his run, and now Zara and also Melham get to work together, don't they?
Yeah, they do. He had to sort of follow West Wind Blows in, who gave him a beautiful card in the race, but he did shift in there on his on Gold Trip and a couple of the others, but no, not really any interference, I don't think. But he was just too strong on the day. Massive result for Mark Zara and his family. Of course, his wife Elise, I'm sure, would be here absolutely pumped.
Incredible race. Emma, I want to come to you. I mean, it's your cousin and your uncle. Your father won 4 of them, darling. How do you feel?
I'm so proud of that young man, Bruce. He, over the last 12 months, they've had a lot of ups and downs and they haven't had a huge amount of success, but he's stuck to his guns, he's stuck to his methods, and he's continued to have faith in this horse. What about the ride from Mark? I mean, that was absolutely incredible. But for me personally, I'm very proud of Sam. I spoke to him yesterday morning about, you know, what had happened with the vet inspection, and as I said on the show yesterday, there was no concern from the stable whatsoever. He's a lazy trotter. He's got a bit of a strange trotting action. I'm just so incredibly happy that the vets let him run, because that was scintillating, and who knows, maybe they do back him up in 7 days' time.
Why not? Hey, let's hear from Mark's wife, Elise, after a magnificent Caulfield Cup.
Elise, Zara.
Oh my God, I don't even know. I was so sick before this race. You know, my husband says if you have a bad dream, you say it out loud. And if you have a good dream, you don't say it. And I only told him part of my good dream. My good dream was we drew barrier 7. And then we drew barrier 7. But the other part of my dream was that we f***ing won. That was my dream on Wednesday night, or Tuesday night. Oh, sorry, I cussed.
Just had a beep in there.
That was my dream Tuesday night. Like he said, don't say a good dream, so I only said the good part that came out after the barrier draw.
We're so excited for you. What was the last 24 hours like? Because it looked like he wasn't going to get a run.
I have lost 10 years off my life this year, because not only did we deal with the Gold Trip stuff, then we dealt with him not running, then he's riding 55 and a half. I already wasn't speaking to him this week, and then I just be like, are you okay? Are you okay? That was my only question. Are you okay? Okay, we won't talk about it anymore. I was like, bye.
Another major for Mark and you and your little family.
And I didn't get to be here for Very Elegant because of COVID. Ah! Honey! Sorry, I'm totally yelling into
Well done, buddy. Well done.
Unbridled excitement, you just can't hold it back, can you? That's what it means. I mean, Mark talked, Katie, about all the things he's been through this week. We know what he's talking about. He didn't expect Gold Trip to be running.
No.
He's probably thinking, God, I've pulled the wrong rein, my favourite horse. And now he's on his other favourite horse, and now becomes his favourite horse.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a big result.
You think so? He's won a Caulfield Cup on Very Elegant. J-Mac didn't come down for certain reasons that day.
COVID.
He wins COVID. He wins the Gold Trip Melbourne Cup, and now he wins this one on Without a Fight. It was a fight. That's what it was. It was a fair dinkum battle all the way up the straight, wasn't it?
With his good friend Jamie Spencer on the inside too.
And with Mellum trying to get between them with the Gold Trip, who was super as well. I mean, and have a look at these two very different riding styles, Caitlin.
Yeah, of course, Jamie Spencer from over in Europe and England, and yeah, another brave performance from West Wind Blows.
And I thought Gold Trip was terrific. So we now start to think, what happens in 7 days' time? I mean, which one backs back? Both these horses, the 1 and 3, are in the Cox Plate. West Wind Blows isn't there. Lizzie, I'd love to get your thoughts on what we think is one of the great cups. It was just the most magnificent finish.
Absolutely breathtaking, and even when you look at the overhead shot, you could see that West Wind Blows was actually leaning out on Without a Fight. So even if there was a protest, or if there was a bit of sort of discussion after the race, it would have played into Without a Fight's hands. I just thought it was an amazing training performance to be able to run him first up and then know to have him primed second up for the Caulfield Cup. And it's great to see Mark. He was able to run second last year. He's gone one better today, and I think the real MVP of this whole place, it used to be Emma Friedman, but it's not, it's Elise Zara.
She's well now in terms of post-race celebration. She's got me hook, line and sinker. Whatever she's having, I'm buying.
And we're getting the 7-second delay button out next time, but that's okay. We can move on. And guys, just for a moment, what about Winona Costin? She's finished 4th. Yeah. Winona Costin has finished 4th in the Caulfield Cup.
Remarkable, that's huge. And she gave Beau de Jean a beautiful ride in the race too.
So I think we might be down with you, Richo. I mean, there is just so much to talk about after what was a classic Caulfield Cup.
Oh, mate, I'm just so happy for you. I won't lie to you. Your wife might have stolen the show, though.
I come in, I could hear someone screaming, or I knew from about the 200 after the winning post who it was, and good on her. She's in the team with me, and it's our victory, and so good on her.
What about those 24 hours, mate? A, you thought your horse would be scratched. B, you've got your champ who gets into the race in Gold Trip. What were you thinking?
I had to give myself an uppercut, I reckon, about Thursday, because I didn't sleep Wednesday night. Like someone else getting the ride on Gold Trip, and I was just like, I was a bit shattered, you know. I thought, you know, he's my horse. I won the Melbourne Cup. I have a great bond with him, you know. Bit of an emotional bond that I don't have with any other horse, Gold Trip. And just like when I wasn't on him, I was like, and then Thursday, I was like, what the F are you doing? Like, you picked this horse after the last start. I said to Sam Freeman, he'll win the Caulfield Cup. And I said, time to stop worrying about Gold Trip, focus on, you know, Without a Fight. And then the vet stuff come up. But I was always confident he'd pass because Sam and Anthony said, and he didn't have any problems. He's just a lazy trotter. So by about Friday, yesterday, my head was finally right. You know, I went through the form with Mark Hunter, and we sorted it out and got the spot I wanted, and he was too strong.
It was brilliant, mate, and it is one of the great rides, so well done, mate. We're really happy for you.
Cheers, thanks, Richo. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And, of course, one of the big talking points now after all of it, when Mark does finally put his feet on the ground, who does he ride? Who does he ride Without a Fight and Gold Trip?